It was a frequent sight in the 80s and 90s, and it's continued on till today. Playoff football in the Bay Area as we welcome you to Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Teams will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl in 2 weeks' time. Which will it be as we're underway in the NFC title game? And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
Ultra.
On second down, a run with Garindo. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards.
It's been a long season, but he still looks fresh running the football. He knows these guys are one game away from a Super Bowl, so he's going to give it all he's got. And that's a heck of a run right there.
Fight, 97.
Here's Garindo on first down. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. Down at the 35, it'll be second down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Go pink. Hey, blue. Hey, red. Blue striker.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. They'll try the middle with Garindo. 45 yards rushing for him now on the opening drive of this NFC title game.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So third down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. On play action, Lance. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Arnold Ebiketie in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to fourth down. Well, that time, it looked like he essentially just ran right into the pass rush.
Yeah, partner, I'm not much of an outdoorsman, but the fish jumped right into the net, didn't he? Because you've got to make sure that you're deep enough that you can get around the defensive end, have an angle there. But he couldn't do it because he actually cut that one off. Really nice play coming off the edge.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Partner, doesn't seem like it, but that's a tough spot for a kicker. First drive of the game, and they're calling on him. He should be warmed up. He should be into the game, but sometimes it's almost like, oh, what, now already? Can't they put it in the end zone? What's going on here?
Yeah, he's probably saying, if you can't get it in the end zone, can you give me a 30, 40-yarder? But a long one, and he can't connect. A run for the first time with Bijan Robinson. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
From the 47 now, they work with a 2nd and 7. Robinson with another carry. And he's going to have this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Niners' 43-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or two short here with third down coming up.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Oh, here's a fake on the jet sweep and a give to Robinson. And he is going to have a Falcons first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2.
Well, it wasn't a goal line situation, but how about the goal line formation on 3rd and short? They went in and went heavy. No surprise on who was going to get the football. How about the power exhibited there?
Yeah, that was just put a hat on a hat, drive forward. Nice job to pick it up. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And now they're taking it right down Broadway. Through the middle of the field. And he will bring this one back. It's a fumble return for the 49er touchdown. In a game of this magnitude, it's always good to get out to a great start. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Second down and a run by Robinson. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
So third down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. Looking to throw, Penix. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. No score after one on EA Sports. Second quarter now, Falcon football, as they've got it with a fourth down coming up. To punt on fourth down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. Taking it about the 16. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
A handoff running right, Garindo. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Another try for Garindo. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 48 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
Rush in. 52 blaster. Right.
Throwing his Lance on third down. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
Well, they've moved the ball okay here in these first 2 drives, but this one's going to, again, amount to nothing. They've got to start dialing up some plays that allow them to finish drives with points.
On fourth down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And it will be Falcon football. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
2nd and 10. Robinson up the middle. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
Now that's how you start to get back in the good graces of your head coach. Remember, he fumbled on the last possession. How about the faith they showed him, giving him the ball again, and he repaid him, picking up a first down.
They'll run this one right with Robinson. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's exactly what offenses try to avoid by using motion and throwing different formations up. They hate when he can draw a bead on the play, get a running start, and make a big play behind the line of scrimmage as he did just there.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Again, it's Robinson. Only a couple there, so he'll be brought down about the 28.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Penix on third down. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. 2 minutes remain in the first half of this NFC Championship. Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. Fielded just inside the 30. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. Flush to his right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, congratulations to them. They come through defensively with another stop. And let's face it, this secondary, they've gone unchallenged so far in the first half.
Lance again here on 2nd and 10. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Falcons are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. If you're a lover of offense, this has not been the half for you thus far. Luckily for me, though, I'm sitting next to a lover of defense, and we have had plenty of that, including that interception.
Yeah, and I mean, that still makes it a great game, doesn't it? Everybody talks about if the ball's not in the end zone and points going up on the board, it's not as much fun. I love these defensive battles. Something's got to give with these turnovers. Who can convert them into points?
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They'll start at the 40, so great starting field position following the interception. They begin the drive with Robinson, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll send a receiver here in motion right. He'll get it here on the jet sweep. And a loose football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Well, this jet sweep is so popular now in football, but Charles, and now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. They'll go play action here with Penix. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
I like what they tried to do there. Tried to hit him with something quick, get the ball in his hands, and hope he could make some yards after the catch and pick up a 1st down. Weren't able to do so on that play.
As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Ready, break.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. As they will take over here with a little more than 30 seconds remaining. Try to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And he's missed now in his first 4 passing attempts. The rhythm is just not there to begin this ball game.
Now a 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Lance. Short throw into the hands of Jordan. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Third down and 10. To throw, it's Lance. Taking a shot for Samuel. This one incomplete. Almost picked off by the rookie, but he couldn't quite look it in. And now it's 4th down.
And they've been kept off the scoreboard in this first half, but here toward the end, they're trying to change that in one fell swoop. But that winds up incomplete.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. This will be fielded at the 17. All told, a 54-yard punt, 13 on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. It's a gain of 6, and that will be the final play of this first half. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Second half begins with a run by Robinson. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They'll run again here with Robinson. And he'll get about 3 up close to the 35.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Robinson will try to pick it up. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
Play fake, and they'll throw with Penix. He'll buy some time right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Here's 2nd and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And the defense on him quickly there as they stop him at the 40 for a gain of just 2. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. They'll throw with Penix. And that will be incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it. And that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. This is brought in at the 21. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They begin on the ground with Garendo. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
2nd and 7, operating from the 34. Again, it's Garendo. 58 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Here's Garendo on first down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
2nd down and a yard. Now a give, right side McCaffrey. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. They need 2. Here's 3rd down. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
A give running left now, Garendo. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
On 2nd down, here's Lance. Got a man. That's Ayuk. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. His first catch in this NFC Championship game, and it's a first down.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
94 is the mark. 94 is the mark. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Check 37. Check 37. Big down. Big down.
On the ground, here's Gurindo. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they got the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. They'll try the middle with Gurindo. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad. 1 quarter remains for the right to go on to the Super Bowl. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And it's not going to be enough here. A gain of 4, about 2 feet short of the marker, 4th down. They'll run for it. McCaffrey. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Christian McCaffrey, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the 49ers have struck first in this NFC title game. Well, this has obviously been a game dominated by the defense, but finally, at long last, we have action on the scoreboard.
I love the tone of your voice there. At long last, finally we see things happen, right? And it took 3 quarters and then some before we got these first points, so that could very well turn out to be the game winner. Now they get to go to the bench and support their defense and hope they can hold those other guys at bay.
So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And they are in need of points here, no doubt about that. With a Super Bowl berth on the line and trailing here in the 4th quarter, this possession gigantic. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
On 1st and 10, it's Penix. Going for Kyle Pitts again. He's got him again. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Consecutive catches for him. That good for 11. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. The tight end in motion right. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. Down to about the 37. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
This a 2nd and 7 from the 37. A play fake. Now Penix steps away. Caught out left side by Robinson. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 20-yard line. The Falcon passing game looking good on this drive as they get the 1st down. back to the ground with Robinson.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. Second down.
His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. 3rd and 7 now.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. And looking to throw, Penix. And he is caught. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. His first catch in this NFC Championship game, and it's a 1st down.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Algier will get about halfway there as he takes this from the 4 down to the 2. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. And one of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you could darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play with my best back right now.
Here now, 2nd and goal. Robinson trying to get to the goal line, but he's going to be stopped just short at the 1. This crowd doing all they can. Here's 3rd and goal. Going quickly there, but it's incomplete.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
Here it is, 4th and goal. They'll run for it with Robinson. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Bijan Robinson taking it in from a yard out. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. They do tack on the extra point as well, and we are tied here in the 4th quarter. These fans on pins and needles. A Super Bowl berth on the line, tied in the 4th quarter as the kick is away. This is 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up. Found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Here's 2nd down. Lance back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. It was Miles Murphy who fired in and got him to the ground. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as it comes with 1:25 left to go in the contest. Super Bowl aspirations on the line. A critical one here. It's third down. Now Lance. He'll fire this deep for Ayuk. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
And it doesn't look like they want to get down the field in 10-yard increments. They wanted the big shot there. That could have set him up just outside of field goal range if he comes down with it. But it winds up incomplete.
A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They need to get this around the 40 to have a chance to win it in regulation. From the 40, it's a 57-yard field goal, so that gives you a gauge.
And all they're trying to do now is pick up yardage in good chunks and get out of bounds to stop the clock. If they end up running a play and get tackled in bounds, they're worried the clock may run out on them and finish the game.
And they'll have to be careful how they handle this. Second down and a run by Robinson. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
And forcing completion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Here's Penix. Buying time to his left. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
And partner, in a tie game in the fourth quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars. And he came through with a nice catch right there.
2 timeouts still in their back pocket. It's 1st and 10. Now Penix. Oh, and that is incomplete.
That's taking a big risk at this late stage. They're not thinking field goal, though. They wanted to leave no doubt on that one. So they took the shot at the end zone, but it winds up incomplete.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now. A give left side to Robinson. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing. Because you go back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
On 3rd down, Robinson. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Our 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Well, this offense still has the one timeout here, remember. 1st and 10. Again, it's Robinson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field.
We can't be totally sure that that was by design, but we do know that a lot of kickers like the ball on the right hash in order to kick the field goal.
They come up now on 2nd and 2. They'll run this one right with Robinson. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
To the air, Penix. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Got to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Younghoe Koo, all eyes fixated on the kicker. This for a trip to the Super Bowl. And it's off the left upright. Oh my goodness, heartache. It's no good. And that changes everything here in OT. Well, 4 quarters couldn't settle things. It's going to take overtime to figure out who wins the George Halas Trophy and punches their ticket to the Super Bowl. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Well, CD, certainly doesn't get any more exciting than this. Overtime in the postseason. Of course, keep in mind things are different. Both teams guaranteed a possession, so a touchdown here, if they get one, the ball game will not be over.
And partners, we both know many people called for this change before, and they finally got it. After the Buffalo-Kansas City Classic in the 2022 playoffs, Patrick Mahomes and KC, they score first. Game over. Josh Allen and Bills never touched the football, and people hated that. Now if the game reaches OT, every playoff team has a chance to fight to extend their season. So the plan has got to be, if you win the toss and you take the ball, reach the end zone and score, and put as much pressure on your opponent as possible to try and win a game in OT in the playoffs.
On second down, a run with Guerrero. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. 96 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. They go with the ground game, pick up the first, now in plus territory.
And that changes the whole mentality of a play caller, doesn't it? Once they cross the 50, they feel like they're in the strike zone. All right, you don't have to be in the red zone to take those big shots downfield or go after the end zone. Right now, that might be available to them.
And now this first drive in OT continues. On first down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be second down. Well, partner, recent conference championship games that have been needed to decide who goes to the Super Bowl, what do you got?
Well, if you go back to 2015, how about Green Bay at Seattle? And it looks like Green Bay's got this thing. Russell Wilson to Jermaine Kearse. That gets it done. And then go back to 2010. We think Brett Favre, with the Vikings, has the destiny, but they're in New Orleans. It's the Saints. And they get it done. And in overtime, go on to the Super Bowl. They won that one. They beat the Colts, correct?
Yep. A couple of the more memorable ones for sure. What will they draw up to try to keep this opening drive of overtime moving? 3rd and 7. Lance with a first throw in overtime. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons 16. A sizable 16-yard chunk there. The drive continues. Things now, Charles, looking pretty good here. A great opportunity to try to cash in for 6 on the opening possession of overtime.
And what I'm liking, Brandon, is what I see down on the sidelines. I see a defense huddled up and ready to go, already preparing for their opportunity to go on the field and close out this game.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. You know, Charles, just thinking about it, plenty of recent conference championship games have needed OT to decide who goes to the Super Bowl.
And we can go back a little ways, can't we? Go back 2012. Giants in San Francisco. That was an overtime game. The Giants ended up going on to the Super Bowl. How about the one where the Giants went to Green Bay, Lambeau, and beat the Magic of that stadium in that freezing, bitterly cold game and got it done there?
Yeah, it was 2008. It was absolutely freezing, and they went on to beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl that year.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. McCaffrey running up the middle, and this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
The field goal unit staying on the sideline here in OT. They're going for it on 4th. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. So here we go. It's Jake Moody now in a big spot. This to at least get them a lead here in overtime. And his kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. They're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now up to their defense to try and see if they can hold this one.
I like how you framed it up because obviously this game is not over, right? They go down and kick a field goal, then we head to sudden death. But if the defense can hold, take the ball away, turn it over on downs, this game's over.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury? Because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted. So you know for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit and then to not even see the ball go through the post. What a bummer on that last drive for them. Got to pick themselves up from that one.
And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. So as they head to the sidelines, we'll head to this break on EA Sports. They'll need at least a field goal here to keep their Super Bowl dreams alive, and they'll need to do it by the end of the period as they work here on second down.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check.
They'll run again here. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. The 49ers are going to the Super Bowl. As we sign off here, we thank you for watching. Good night, everybody. Do it for this one. For Charles Davis, myself, and the entire crew, we'll see you in 2 weeks at the Super Bowl.